Hi everyone, hope you're doing okay, hope you're keeping safe, hope you're keeping sane and all of that. I'm going to open this video slightly differently before I get into the main subject of it. If you're watching this video, hopefully you're a subscriber to the channel. If you're not and you watch my videos regularly, I would appreciate that. You guys have seen me time after time after time, every video I plug my Patreon, asking you to sign up, to subscribe, to support me, support the channel and all the rest of it. And anyone who's done that, I massively, massively appreciate it. But I will say at this point, if you're going to sign up to my Patreon, there will be a link in the description, obviously, then please do so because you want to support me. Now, the reason I say that is because I have time after time said I'm going to put up extra videos, extra content, extra stuff on the Patreon channel. And I still intend to sort of do that in a way, but the problem is that I think of a video idea. Like last night, for example, the reason I'm probably looking a bit tired and a bit jaded is because I ended up having quite a long conversation with a good mate of mine in the pub. And it came up, threw up a few ideas for videos, a few things that I think might help. And that's the kind of the crux of it. If I think something is going to be beneficial to anyone suffering with gambling addiction or addiction in general or whatever, I want to make a video about it and I want to put it up on the channel because I think it's going to help. So I can't, in any good conscience, sort of go, oh, well, actually, I'm going to put this one up as a sort of a Patreon exclusive. Give me £3 or £10 a month, whatever my tiers are. I don't even bloody remember now. Give me £3 or £10 a month, and I will share this information. I will share this advice with you. I will, give you something that maybe help in some way, you to get into or maintain your recovery. I can't do that. That's not what the channel is about. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I started doing all of this. I did this because I want to help people. I want people who were in the same situation as me to realise that they're not alone and there is a better life waiting for them, and to share, like I say, what worked, what didn't work, with you guys. And so to sort of, if I think of something like that and then I kind of go, well, I'm going to put this on Patreon because that might drive a few more people over there and they might sign up and then I'm going to get an extra few quid a month or whatever. It doesn't, it's just totally against why I'm doing all of this. I will say that, and I will also say if you do want to, subscribe, I really appreciate it. And actually, it means a lot to me because it means by doing that you place actual value on what I'm doing. So it's quite a nice sort of feedback thing. If someone, particularly in sort of difficult financial times, decides they're going to pledge, £10 a month or whatever, that's, that doesn't go unnoticed and it doesn't go unappreciated because it shows that, maybe I've helped save you that money and hopefully a hell of a lot more. But that you see true value in what I'm doing. So if you do want to sign up for the Patreon, there will be a link in the description below. But do it because you want to support me, not because of my empty promises of extra content and stuff. Because realistically, if I have an idea, if I think it's going to be useful, if I think it's going to be helpful, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it up here, and because I want as many people as possible to see it, not just those people who decide to support me in that way, So let's talk about something. And this is something that came up in this sort of conversation I had with my mate last night, and it actually brought back some rather horrible memories. And that seems to all be what I'm talking about at the moment. But I'm doing it because I think, as I said before, if you're watching these videos, you might feel very alone in your habit. You might feel very alone in your addiction, and you might feel like you're the only person on earth that's suffering in this way. And I'm here to tell you that you're not. Because I've been there, seen it, done it, and got the proverbial T-shirt, and I'm sure an awful lot of people watching these videos can also echo my same sentiment. And that's the burning bridges analogy. And as you can tell, this video is not scripted at all, but it got me thinking of many times. And again, this is just one of these ones that I think might resonate with people, where you are in a financial situation because of your gambling. You've lost money that you may have needed for rent, for bills, or just to literally to see you through the month, for shopping or whatever else you might need. And you've done it. You've basically done your brains and you spent it, and you, as I spoke before in a couple of videos ago, you lay awake at night doing mental sums, trying to think of how you're gonna rob Peter to pay Paul, to to get money to cover what you need to keep yourself going, and you just spend hours just laying there or sitting there thinking, doing maths in your head, and it does you absolutely crusting. And then what happens is something, as it invariably does, something arises either through blagging, stealing, borrowing. You find a lifeline in something. It might be that a mate has offered to lend you some money. It might be that you remembered you've got this thing kicking about in the garage that's actually worth a few quid that you stick on eBay and it sells, and or you manage to get some form of cash injection from wherever, and you have a lifeline, and suddenly you can breathe more easily. Everything suddenly seems like a massive weight has been lifted from your shoulders. You can actually live. You can think about other things. You can basically take this massive burden off your mind, this stress, this weight that you're carrying of just trying to work out how you're gonna live for the next week or few weeks or whatever. And suddenly this thing turns up, and you have some money, and your problems are temporarily alleviated. You have that peace of mind. You can sleep. You can go out. You can live your life. You can talk to people. You can just behave like a normal, non-addicted human being. And then what happens? Well, what happens with any spare money we have? What happens with any, financial injection we get as a gambling addict is you go out and you lose it. And then not only are you back to square one, but you have this constant churning regret of, if I could only rewind 24 hours, if I could only rewind 48 hours, if I could just go back to the start of the day and live today again, I would do it differently, because I would cling on to that lifeline. I would maintain that safety net that I had somehow, through the powers of the universe, been afforded. There's this thing that has come out of the ether and has actually alleviated the biggest financial stress I have going on right at this moment, right at this minute. And you've got it in your hands, and you've held it, and you've been in that position of pure relief where suddenly all these sort of mental stresses and strains have been lifted from you. And then you fast forward 24 hours and it's gone in the blink of an eye. This sort of safety net, this security, this alleviation of toil has been, that was lifted from you is back, and you're back to square one. And not only are you back to square one, but one of your remaining lifelines has been burnt. One of your bridges has been burnt, and it might be that your mate has said, "Oh, that's all right. Yeah, I've had a bit. I've been doing all right recently. I'll lend you a few £100 or whatever," and you borrow it, and then not only are you now back to square one, you've got all that stress and strain and weight on your shoulders. You now have the additional shame of owing a friend money, not being able to pay it back, and going through this cycle. And why am I talking about this? Well, I don't know really for sure why I'm talking about this, but I know this is something I did so frequently, often multiple times per month. The cycle of a big gambling loss, and then finding some money from somewhere, wherever, to help mitigate the problems I've caused for myself, and then losing that, and then going back and having to find another way of begging, stealing, borrowing, selling shit on eBay, doing all of that, and then getting back to a point of relative financial safety, and then spunking it all again, and then going back to that cycle, man. And that is genuinely, I think, one of the worst feelings. I talk a lot how gambling's not, gambling isn't a financial issue, and it's not. It's very safe to say that gambling really isn't a financial problem. It's a psychological problem. It's a problem with addiction. It's a mental health problem in many respects. But it does cause a lot of financial problems, and the roller coaster of going from financial safety, not affluence but safety, where stuff's getting paid up, to rock bottom where you're lying awake at night for hours worrying about how you're going to pay shit, to something coming along and alleviating that stress and that strain and that weight from your mind, and then plunging back down to the depths again. It's no wonder that I'm going bald and I'm going grey, and that I look far older than my age, because every year spent as an addict is 10 years probably in the aging process. The stress and strain, which I still suffer from today, talking about it now. Obviously, the fact that I'm was up late last night and I'm a bit hungover is not exactly a helpful factor. But yeah, I still think about it now, and I'm far from being out the woods in terms of the fallout from many years, indeed decades of an addiction. So why am I sharing this? I don't know. I'm sharing it because you might be going through this yourself, and I want you to know that you're not alone. I've been there, seen it, and done it. And someone very wise once said, and I'm going to scale this back from the original quote: buying a Lamborghini is cool. Being able to buy a Lamborghini is far, far cooler. And I'm going to scale that down and saying that, yeah, it's great to be able to cover your bills, your rent, your mortgage, your food and the rest of it, and have a few quid left over to go out with friends or whatever. That's good, but the security of knowing the money's there if you need it will bring you far more contentment, far more mental clarity, far more peace of mind than actually spending it on anything. Another butchered quote from OnlyFilm. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Rambling video, doesn't really make a lot of sense. No real purpose for this. I don't even know what the hell I'm going to title it or what I'm going to stick in the thumbnail. It may well be just me doing that, because that seems to be the image I use time and time again. But yeah, going back to my original point. Everyone who subscribes to my Patreon, I really do appreciate it. It means a hell of a lot to me that you see that value and that you want to support me in that way. But if I continue to think of things that I think might be helpful to people, I'm going to stick them up on the main channel, because that's the point. That's why I do this. But anyway, I'm getting near 5,000 subscribers, so hit subscribe if you're not subscribed already. This is the bit where most YouTubers go, I've noticed through my analytics that 70% of people who watch my videos regularly aren't subscribed. But I haven't looked at them. Don't know. Don't care. All the best, though. Stay safe, stay sane. Take it easy, everyone.